I'm very unstructured today. I really just wanted to have an open and fun discussion on this. I got no trivia stuff. I've got some news later on and a funny movie of the week, but I just want to talk about the gem that this movie is.
It is quite a gem.
I'm so glad I finally got to see it.
Even.
It's so fucking good.
You know, I got one of my other friends to watch it the other day, and she really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I showed Wilson last night, and he'd never seen it before. And fucking hell, he's what is going on? Why is he trying to fit a stray cat into an ATM? I'm so confused. The whole night was brilliant. But yeah, when I first watched it, I'm pretty sure you know this, that I didn't know it was a comedy. I just went in and watched it and didn't laugh the whole time, but it's upon retrospective and watching it a second time, you see how ridiculous everything is.
I can't believe that Bryce prefers Van Patten's card to mine.
Hey, wait, is that Ivana Trump? I could do a whole podcast just quoting the movie and having fun.
Hell yeah.
Okay,
they don't have a good bathroom to do coke in.
Fuck! Hey, can you guys keep it down? I'm trying to do drugs. Oh, fuck. So, my god, Christian Bale owns this role.
I know, so good.
I'm so glad he was able to get the role because he was in the air for almost everybody. I got 5 people listed here that were going to be Bateman at one point or another. Jared Leto, which ultimately stayed on the film to do Paul Allen.
Yeah.
Brad Pitt was going to do it at one point. Leonardo DiCaprio was going to do it. Keanu Reeves was going to do it. Johnny Depp was going to do it. There was so many. And I can't imagine...
Yeah, I can't imagine any of those people doing it better than Christian Bale does.
Nah, Ewan McGregor was going to do it at one point. He was attached to it, and Bale begged him to let him do it.
Yeah.
He just wanted to bring something else, and everyone thought, Bale, it's career suicide. What the fuck are you doing? And hey, he turned it around, went from a B-movie star to being Batman 5 years later. It was crazy. Did you know that Whitney Houston's debut LP had 4 #1 singles on it? Did you know that, Christy?
I did.
And there are no girls with good personalities. I could quote this movie to death.
I know, there's so many lines you can quote.
It's absolutely brilliant.
I've seen the way you look at me, Bateman.
Ah, Carruthers, I love it. Where did you get that overnight bag? Ooh.
That scene, though, in the bathroom where Bateman is, like, almost on the verge of crying as he's washing his gloves in the sink.
His face! Like he's washing his gloves. It's so fucking good. Oh god, it's beautiful. I fucking love that scene. It's the perfect one to really break the ice between a horror and a comedy.
Yeah.
And to go, this is hilarious.
Yeah.
But yeah, we were just talking about Bale's performance, and I really think no one could have pulled it off the way he has.
Yeah, I don't...
Like,
You know, he absolutely kills that role.
because there's just not a single line where it doesn't feel right. You know, I'm just a happy camper. I'm a rockin' and a rollin'. Everything.
But inside...
Inside doesn't matter because this confession has meant nothing. We didn't mention it, but full spoilers.
Yeah.
Because I want to discuss the ending at some point.
Yeah.
It's fucking...
Actually, I want to discuss something I found out the other day.
Yeah.
The business card scene. A few of the details they mention are not actually present on the business cards.
Yeah, I know.
Like, Paul Allen's doesn't have a watermark.
acquisitions is spelt wrong on all of the
Yeah.
cards. It's either a
Yeah, I know.
typo or it's deliberately put there, and that's how like little they actually look at their cards to make sure they're not typos and shit.
Honestly, yeah, that's probably true. But there's also the fact that the guy says raised lettering, and the lettering is indented, which is the opposite of raised.
This whole movie's full of this stuff. You know, everything. Because with Bateman, you're with an unreliable narrator, and movies like that I always adore because the movie is whatever you want it to be. And
Yeah, like, because the thing is, that scene is specifically about the business cards, so it seems like quite a big thing for the people who made it to not pick up on that they made all the business cards wrong in some way.
well, I found out only the other day that this sound effect they use for pulling out the cards is
It's like a knife.
it's a sword
Yeah.
like sheathing in a, it's like whatever you call it, a cover
Is that
or
a
whatever.
gram?
But basically
New business card.
it's that sound effect and it's slowed down. That's what it is. So it's like they're whipping out swords and shit.
Yeah.
It's brilliant. Compliment was sufficient, Lewis. I quote this movie on a daily basis.
Yeah. So
The other
do
day,
I.
I went to pick up my girlfriend, and I wound the window down and asked, "How much do you cost? Do you take card?" I'm joking. Let me assure you, she wasn't very happy about it, but she did find it funny. But yeah, almost everywhere I go, I quote it. It's with me.
You're a fucking ugly bitch. I want to stab you to death. Play around with your blood.
Yeah, I love with those scenes. You can't tell whether she's heard him and just ignoring it, like, you know, fuck you too, or she literally just didn't hear what he had said.
Yeah, because the thing is with the when he does it later, when he says, "Why don't you shut the fuck up, or I will kill you."
Fucking
Like she
love
heard
it.
him.
If you don't shut your fucking mouth, I will kill you. Shit, the cleaning lady. Even just the excuse, it's apple cranberry juice. Like, fucking couldn't say like red wine or something. It's apple juice. Fuck's sake.
Yeah, and she doesn't seem to believe him. Like she still is very quite shocked by that.
Yeah. Oh, see, Wilson. What she get with him? It didn't click with him. What happened after like the don't walk sign and then walk and whatnot, and then cutting to the cleaning. And like, what happened? It's like, what's that on his like sheets? And it's like blood. He killed her. Oh shit! I had a lot of fun with him last night. It was brilliant.
Oh god, I'm willing to talk throughout this entire thing about all the things Wilson didn't pick up on.
Fuck, it was good.
I imagine there were quite a few.
It was very, very fun to watch. He's probably listening now because he watched it.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
he's like one of the only people who watches this, I think.
Yeah, so yeah, my god, I have such a fun time every time I watch it, and I resonate personally with Bateman way too much. Sometimes I just had to kill a lot of people this time.
Do you also have a diary in your like in your drawer? That's just
Yeah,
very well drawn graphic images.
see, I draw the line at putting a shotgun in a woman's vagina and blowing it out. That's where I draw the line. I'll kill people, but I don't like to mix my sex with murder. It's a bit much for me.
Yeah. That's something Bateman really enjoys.
I know. I was looking at a lot of the novelization and the threesome scene before the running with the chainsaw and all that, and how different it was in the novel. That it was actually the other chick that started to run away, and he was hacking her with a butcher knife instead of a chainsaw. And the prostitute, she was there with jumper cables on her tits and burning to death on fire. So it's quite a starching
Yeah, I've heard
difference.
the novel is quite the read.
Yeah, I've heard it's absolutely brutal. I've seen some of the stuff like why don't you get a job, Al? He stabs him in the eyes and the groin,
Yeah.
as well as his stomach, and he breaks the dog's legs, but the fate of the dog is unknown in the novel. So he's very much out of control.
Yeah.
But a lot of the lines, almost every line in the film is ripped straight from the book.
Yeah,
It's just the book.
I know.
Gives you more time to settle into Bateman's lifestyle, and all the chapter names are very subtle, like another Saturday night, but it could be titled I try to cook and eat this time. Like that's every some of the chapters are just called Thursday, and it's really fucked up stuff. But yeah, I love the.
It's kind of funny because I've heard the author didn't really consider it a comedy when he wrote it. But then when he watched the movie, he was like, wow, this is actually really fucking funny.
Yeah.
Like the business card scene, he never intended that to be comedic.
Yeah. And I think that's another thing I love is I can watch this as both a comedy and a horror film.
Yeah, because none of the characters actually tell jokes. It's
just very dry delivery, and Bale owns it so good.
I know.
I'm freaking out because I'm positive we won't get a good table, but we do. And relief washes over me in an awesome way. And even when he says awesome
Lewis
way,
has
it's
confused me for this dickhead Marcus Albus strip.
Because everything's presented in such I don't know, like polished fidelity and like a high vocabulary. So when he just calls Halberstrand a dickhead, it's out of nowhere. I love it. Carruthers is one of your favorite side characters.
Yeah, there aren't really any other side characters that are that important.
So I find even like the littlest roles in the film, like the real estate lady, after Bateman shows up at Alan's for like the last time.
There was no ad in the Times.
Even those little roles, everything's done really, really nicely. I like all of it.
Yeah.
I learnt the other night that the head in his fridge, they're just off the rails topic here, head in the fridge, that actually was the actress. They basically just
they had a hole under the fridge.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. That's the way of getting around it. Let's talk about Paul Allen's scene. Fuck
Bateman.
This scene.
Oh my god, you were the American Psycho all along.
Those memes are everywhere. I fucking love them. My girlfriend recently joined one of the meme groups or whatever. She's getting them every day and she just doesn't really get it. Because a lot of them are like, why are they just misquoting the film? It's like, well, it all started with like this one guy who said, oh yeah, this is my favorite movie and favorite quote. It's like, you never said that. My God, Patrick, you were the American Psycho all along. That was so funny. So, the only thing apparently that was improvised there was the moonwalking. Everything else was pretty straightforward and done correctly. But it's such an iconic scene.
I know, that scene is amazing. Everything about that scene is
fucking perfect.
Great.
I love how a lot of his major moments always start with him showing an album first and talking about it. So like that frame, as soon as it cuts from the dinner scene, fucking, there's so much to talk about.
Like Huey Lewis on the news. Something I noticed that in that scene is that he smokes a cigar after killing Paul Allen, but later he tells somebody not to smoke in his apartment.
No smoking in it. Yeah. I think him being contradictive and a bit of a hypocrite is the least of his problems.
Yeah.
I was just thinking to the dinner scene prior to that, where he's talking with Paul Allen. He says, "I like to dissect girls. did you know I'm utterly insane? And then he just turns and looks at him and says, "Great tan, Marcus." Just completely ignores him. Oh, I love it so much. I'm into murders and executions mostly. Mergers and acquisitions. No one knows what the fuck he's saying. So, in the novel, obviously everything is in much higher detail, and with the axe, it hits him in the mouth. So it proper like takes his jaw off kind of hit. Which is great. It's good fun. Part of me wishes I'd seen it. Part of me is glad we don't. It's more fucked up just knowing that and then not seeing it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I always forgot, because of the parody with Huey and Weird Al, I thought the line that Paul Allen says was something about, like, is that a Huey Lewis in the news joke because you got newspapers on the floor? But that was just the parody, not the film. Do you have a little dog? A little chow or something?
No, no, Paul.
Is that a raincoat?
It is.
Yes, it is. Another one is where the film loses its mind. It just goes off the fucking rails. It's when he goes to an ATM and he says, "Here, kitty, kitty." Even the way he says that, picks up the cat, and the ATM says, "Feed me a stray cat." So then he actually goes to try and put the cat in the ATM. And when it's not working, which it clearly
pushing
won't.
it in with a gun.
Yeah, he pulls a gun on the fucking cat, get in the ATM. An old lady catches him in the act and he just shoots her. Then the cops are there suddenly. So a firefight starts out after Bateman tries to steal a car. And with just his pistol alone and like no cover, he blows up 2 cop cars. I love that that's almost a that's satire on what like 80s action movies were, because it's the 80s that takes
my
place.
favorite part of that scene though is when he's running through the other buildings, then he runs past that cleaning lady into the turning door thing.
Yeah.
He turns back around, shoots her, and then goes around again.
He can't leave anybody. He's gonna just had to kill a lot of people. Even when he's all of a sudden he's getting really close to the second I don't know what you call him, usher or doorsman, whatever, and he pulls a pen out instead.
Yeah.
But yeah, the scene goes off its head. And I really thought that was the end of the movie, first time watching that, his confessional one. It's gotta end somehow with all these killings. But no.
It ends off on a much better scene. Not
Yes.
that scene's bad, but I fucking love the ending. It's great.
Yes, so we'll roll right into that. And yeah, full spoilers for anyone that's still here.
Any.
I mean, we've basically spoiled everything already.
Everything other than the ending.
Yeah, so the ending is open-ended, and the film is pretty much whatever you want it to be, whether these killings happened, or they didn't, or some did and some others weren't. I think, for me, you want the experience to not be wasted. So when he's saying that he never has catharsis and that his confession has meant nothing, that none of this ever happened and nothing's real, I really don't like the cop-out ending in that. I like to not think that he has killed half of these people, but people just don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Like, they all
killed a few homeless people, maybe 5 or 10.
Yeah, but like that, even I was pointing out to me yesterday that maybe his lawyer did know straight away that the confession over the phone was real, but he's avoiding saying that in public to actually protect him.
Because he's the best lawyer ever.
That's what I'm saying. But that maybe he did murder someone, but he's mistaken Paul Allen for someone else. Because in the book, he's I think it's Paul Owen or something. It's Owen something.
Well, I wouldn't go to the book to, talk about the movie.
Yeah, but just with the ending and whatnot, I like to think that he did kill some people, and the cleaning lady that was there, or was the rental lady at the end, she
Yeah.
cleaned those bodies out, you know? It's like, I don't want any trouble. I want you to leave.
Yeah, because it's an expensive apartment and she doesn't need the hassle. It's probably a lot easier to just hide a whole bunch of dead bodies.
Yeah, and that's where,
Yeah, no.
even with Willem Dafoe as Kimball, brilliant. I loved all those scenes, which you told me that they were all done 3 times, where one time he knows, one time he's indifferent, and the other time he's got no clue. It's so cutting between all 3. Because when I was watching, I had
You can never tell whether or not he actually is on to Bateman.
know. I was sometimes it would be like a normal scene, but cutting back and forth, reverse shot, back and forth. And then it would have a real close-up of Willem Dafoe going strange. And it's like, he knows! He knows! And then it's like, hey, do you like Huey Lewis in the news? And it's like, oh yeah, he's trying to startle him. And then he'll be like, oh no, I just picked it up and whatever.
You know, he, like...
That's fucking...
There's no way he would have had any idea that Huey Lewis in the news was related to the killing in any way.
I know. I love that I couldn't tell no matter what, that whole first viewing, whether he knew or not. And I like the idea that he knows it's him, or has at least learnt that at some point.
Especially considering he didn't know what his own alibi was.
Yeah, just at the end. I love it. He's grabbing the salt and it's just shaking salt all over his steak everywhere. he's
that's basically how much salt I have on my food. So I didn't think there's anything weird or funny about that.
Yeah. So, I like the idea that he knows, but it would just be too much paperwork to try and drag a Wall Street broker through courts and get him prosecuted because of how much money they have. You know? That's what I like to think that the film is. But...
Especially considering how fucking good Bateman's lawyer is.
Yeah.
He can convince the guy who did it that the crime didn't even happen.
Yeah. Fucking good. But yeah, I like to just... With each theory that people have, there's always holes in it, even my own, that just some things don't add up. You know, I think the scene where the feeding the stray cat, that didn't happen. That
obviously didn't.
But then the whole confession with the lawyer, you know, things just don't add up. You know, maybe, I don't know, he just was having a mental breakdown in his office. Who knows? But I like that we have, you know, things are left unanswered, because then you can always think about it and come back to it and try and find more.
And they're questions that can be answered in a sequel.
I don't know what you're talking about. What sequel? No sequel. That would be dumb. That would be dumb.
It would be so dumb if they made a sequel about a completely unrelated character.
It would, wouldn't it? They axed off the character like in The Last of Us 2 straight away. I'm spoiling that straight up because no one should give enough of a shit.
About American Psycho 2. Yeah.
No, about The Last of Us 2. The character getting axed off at the start.
I mean, I can't believe they fucking kill off Bateman in like 5 minutes. He's literally the best part of American Psycho.
Yeah.
He is the American Psycho.
Did you know like 40% of his screen time in that film, he's either semi-naked or nude?
That's great.
It is pretty good, eh? I know that...
I don't know if it's that much. Because how many
apparently
scenes...
it is. Otherwise, the other 60% is in a suit. But like, you know, whether he's in his shorts or he's nude or semi-nude.
Yeah. Because
he's...
he is quite nude when he's just chilling around his apartment.
Yeah. But yeah, apparently the shower scene, every woman on the crew got together and watched that. Including the director herself. They were all there and they really enjoyed filming that scene.
I'm sure they did.
I'm not sure how Bateman kept his cool, but he fucking does. This is why he gets paid the big bucks.
I mean, that's probably just his everyday life, to be honest.
I mean, he reportedly took like 3 times less the amount of salary that Leo DiCaprio would have gotten for the film with Brad Pitt. They were offered like 27 million, but Bale did it for 9. Fucking God, this movie is so good. Like, we haven't even
Yeah.
touched upon the music, really. Like,
Yeah,
this
I was
guy's
right
music
that-
tastes.
I was right about to mention that the majority of the budget was actually just getting the rights to all those songs.
Yeah, it was too.
And there are a lot of songs, not just the ones he like specifically mentions, but
Yeah.
like background music when he's in the club and stuff.
Oh, there's a lot of songs. But for this man's music taste, Huey Lewis and the News, Phil Collins, Whitney Houston. He's walking on sunshine, but he's got this just dead face with no emotion.
Yeah.
Other than greed and disgust, like he says, and just walking through hallways. But I'm walking on sunshine. I loved the line, one of the real early in the film, where he says, "Because I want to fit in," and it's always stuck with me. That a lot of this movie is.
That's actually kind of the opposite of what he wants.
I don't know. I think it's because he's by the book. Even like when he's at that first restaurant and saying we need to promote this and that and racism and terrorism, like he's doing everything textbook, what's considered the right thing to do. Like he's, you know, he's got the job, he's got the money, he's got the cleanness, the physique, the diet, you know, the co-workers and relationships and all this stuff. Everything that you're supposed to want that will give you happiness, and nothing's doing it for him. So it's pushed him to this point of trying to separate himself from everyone else and be a little bit more than everyone. And he's just gotta start killing people. But yeah, it always stuck with me. And I find, you know, those themes are quite relatable. That no one wants to be a nobody, everyone wants to be a somebody.
Yeah.
It's just that Bateman's got no other way of doing it other than he's got to start killing people.
And that doesn't even work.
No, and that doesn't even work. And that's why the confession means nothing. At least in my eyes.
Even admitting this, there is no catharsis.
Did you end up seeing the "This is not an exit" sign on the door?
I noticed that in my first viewing, yeah.
Yeah. It's just little things like that that are hidden all over the place. It's brilliant. You know, and that one, I know. See, I can't tell whether that's in his head or it isn't. It's just so open because there's no doors like that say "This is not an exit." Like,
yeah, it'd be like staff only or something.
yeah. You know, and the constant like mood swings that Bateman will have. Like he'll be, as soon as there's no girls with good personalities, they're all high-fiving one another. So all of a sudden, Brothers pulls out a business card. Now Bateman, just is all you got to worry about fucking dinner reservations? Jesus Christ!
What her head would look like on a stick.
Yeah.
Nobody else laughs.
No. Did you know that Ted Bundy had a dog called Lassie?
Who's Ted Bundy?
Never mind. It's like, what's that? Duct tape. I use it for taping something. You could just go on quoting it all day. What's the other one? I wish, you know what? I did miss out on this film. I really wish we had to have seen or got to see a kill with a nail gun, because apparently he did get his ex-girlfriend.
There is one in the
with it.
book.
Yeah.
And he mentions having done it, but the scene in the film is actually fakes it out, and he doesn't actually end up killing her.
Yeah, but his confession on the phone, he says he did kill his ex-girlfriend with a nail gun. I just wish we got to see one of them. It looks iconic, the shot. I love it.
Yeah, before I saw the film, I'd seen that like shot of him holding the nail gun.
Yeah.
I found it funny when I saw the scene and he doesn't actually do it.
Yeah.
But that's not his ex-girlfriend in the scene, that's his secretary, so...
Yeah, what do
It
you
was
think?
actually... I believe it's his ex-girlfriend that he meets at the dry cleaners.
Yeah, it might. I'm not sure. I'll have to watch it again. Yes. So,
That is your cross to bear.
That is. What do you think of the theory that Dorsia is really the villain of the film? Because of things like Dorsia, it's made everyone the way they are.
Dorsia was the killer all along. Dorsia is the American Psycho.
We never actually see it in the film, do we?
No,
because
nobody
Bateman
goes there anymore.
can't afford it. Yeah, nobody goes there anymore. What are you talking about?
You know, I like how when Paul Allen mentions that he got a reservation at Dorsia, everyone's like, yeah, he's probably just fucking lying. Like, everyone knows that nobody can get in.
Yeah, well, that's what I like to think.
They all want to be the one person who can.
Yeah, I like to think that you just can't trust anybody or anything, or what anyone says. And especially it being told from Patrick's perspective, you know, everything's just painted in a way that he's above everyone else. But, you know, we're seeing that he isn't really.
I mean, he doesn't really fall into the same thing, because I don't think in the movie he ever, like, confuses anyone. That's something that, like, other people confuse him for, you know, people, like Mark Salvestram. But I don't think he ever confuses anyone for anybody else in that.
I don't know, other than maybe Paul Allen, but that's a bit up and undecided.
You know, I don't believe that he did. I'm pretty sure he killed the real one.
Then it just doesn't make sense that his lawyer had dinner with Paul Allen 2 weeks ago. Maybe his lawyer just mistook.
His lawyer just mistook Bateman for somebody else, so.
Yeah.
I think the film is actually a secret ad for Specsavers.
What? I haven't heard that theory. Go on.
Well, because everybody in the film clearly needs glasses.
Yeah, no one can see anybody. Oh, fuck. Yeah, the most iconic line in the film, you know, I need to return some videotapes. I actually think I've quoted that one the least because we don't have videotapes anymore. We don't have Blockbuster. It's upsetting.
Yeah. I need to return my Netflix subscription.
I need to cancel my Netflix subscription. I have more of The Boys to watch on Amazon.
I still have not managed to get around to that yet.
Yeah, well, I was going to talk about that a bit later in some of the news. But yes, I didn't really have anything trivia-wise. I mean, we both got that much information. We've already shared a bunch of it. Like, the woman's head in the fridge being real and... you know, a lot of that stuff. Even the novelization. Did you know that Christian Bale based almost everything off of one interview with Tom Cruise? Like his way that he went into doing everything.
Which interview?
Tom Cruise was on like a David Letterman. I think it was David Letterman. Like an interview one night, and he just looked so happy and so plastic and fake. There was nothing behind it at all going on. It's just this complete sheen of fake, and he was like, and basically Bale saw it on TV. I don't know how
he can be so, I don't know, cool about it.
Well, send him in, I guess. You know, he's so sure of himself, and then he'll say things like, I guess. It's brilliant.
Also, he really doesn't know how to do a crossword.
No, he doesn't. He kind of is making it up as he goes. There's, for sure, no movie that I've ever seen like this film. It's so unique. It's, again, even if we've spoiled it and you haven't seen it yet, you can't...
There's still so much we haven't talked about.
Yeah, you can't
that you can only
explain
pick up by watching it.
You know, even some of the things we're saying might not sound like jokes, but the way it's done and delivered, it's just a spectacle that you have to see for yourself. You know, it's like with Fight Club, you can't describe the feeling of the film. You've got to watch it. It's absolutely brilliant. a classic. Bombed when it came out because
All good movies did.
all good movies did in the early 2000s or late 90s. And yeah, not as big as when critics got Fight Club wrong, but still big nonetheless that this became a cult following on DVD. And
Yeah, because it's like so many movies. Like, I think I mentioned this in the last podcast or a different podcast, or maybe I just mentioned it like outside of one. But so many good, like great movies were bombs when they first released, like The Thing or the John Carpenter remake. That was just like, people fucking hated that movie when it first came out.
Yeah.
Even though it's great, it's like one of my favorite horror movies.
Yeah, right.
If not my favorite, I fucking love The Thing. You've probably seen it, right?
Yeah,
Sure.
I have. It was a long time ago though, so I need to revisit it. It's been that long. Yeah, we planned a whole Halloween of cool, awesome.
Yeah,
horror
we planned
movies.
a few movies for October, but it's been a little while. We haven't done a podcast yet.
Yes,
We're a bit late to this one.
Funny enough, I was watching the Texas Chainsaw Massacre the other night, which aptly is in this film when Bateman is doing stomach crunches.
Yes. I nearly convinced my mom to watch that with me, but the first shot of the film and she was like, no. And then in hindsight, it's probably best. Because, you know, the last quarter of that film is possibly not something you would want to watch with your mother.
That film does a fantastic job of just slowly building. And because it's so slowly burning away, it builds to a point where you haven't even realized how fucked up it is what you're seeing is going on. I don't know if that's
mean, at the end, like, well, the scene where it's just Sally, just in the... I think the protagonist's name is Sally. It's just her in the house, she's just getting tortured mentally for, like, 20 minutes.
Yeah, well, it's...
I have so much trivia about that movie.
Yeah, I do too. There's a lot. We'll talk about that next week. Well, that can be Halloween.
Yeah.
Fucking Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Let's fucking
just so you know, next month does have a Friday the 13th, so we should talk about Friday the 13th in November.
Oh shit! All right, we can do that too. Which one? There's like 13 of them.
Yeah. Well, I mean. The first one seems like a good enough place to start. Or maybe we'll just fucking rapid fire for all 13. But
I try not fucking watch all of them in one fucking sitting. That's too much.
Maybe we could do like a marathon stream of us watching all of them.
Oh shit. Fuck. So, if you haven't seen American Psycho, please, I implore you, go out and watch it right now. And then watch it again, because it needs 2 viewings to get it. I'm not sure.
Watch it again, because, you know, why wouldn't you?
I'm not sure where you'd find it. I don't think it's on a streaming service.
It's on Australian Netflix. It's on Netflix in Australia, which I assume most of our viewers are, yeah. Yeah, it's on Netflix in Australia. I didn't know that before I downloaded it through other means.
What was that? It just bleeped out.
Because I never watched the podcast, so I don't know if you actually bleep it out when I say stuff like that.
This is probably the first one I won't, but I usually do.
Yeah.
All of a sudden it'll just bleep. It'll be like, oh, what was that? What? It's crazy. So, is there anything else we have to say on American Psycho, or are we gonna...
I don't know. I don't think there's really much else to talk about. Actually, yeah, weren't you doing Bateman's like exercise routine for a while?
I still am. That's how seriously entwined I am with him. Every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. Rigorous exercise routine. I fucked the diet on Sunday because Bathurst was on and I ate whatever the fuck I wanted. I sat there like a couch potato for 8 hours.
That's fair enough, to be honest.
Otherwise, yeah, back on it.
Yeah.
And fuck yes, man. I'm dropping weight real quick. Got to get in shape if I'm going to do an American Psycho review.
That's fair.
Got to live and breathe it.
When are you going to do another review? It's been, 10 months since the last review?
I don't know. It's been a while. I'm just struggling place-wise, time-wise, on everything. You know, it's so much easier to do a podcast like this and keep things uploading and going.
Yeah, but we can just talk shit for about an hour or so, and then, you know.
But even then, how regularly are we doing just this? I'm struggling enough to just keep these going and keeping that stuff going. But I am writing reviews constantly. I'm writing new skits. I'm really refining ideas. So when I get ready to do some, I just have to shoot it. I don't have to think of what would be really funny, and I can always come back, change things. But there will be more. It's just going to take time. Probably not going to get one for a little bit yet. I don't know, I might come out of the blue and hit you with something special. Who knows? But otherwise, if we go into movie news, I don't have a movie news sound effect or anything, or any cue for that, so let's just talk about movie news. Yeah. Alright, cool. So, first thing I got was that the new James Bond film, No Time to Die, we just had a report that a motorcycle stunt in the film used 8,400 gallons of Coke. Like the drink, like Coke, not the other Coke.
Coke isn't measured in gallons.
Yeah.
It's not really...
But yeah, apparently it was something to do with the, what's it? Where is it written?
Crashed into the fucking Coca-Cola factory.
No, that would be a bit out of the fucking blue. His double or whatever lands a motorcycle on cobblestones or whatever. But apparently the cobblestones can be slippery, and so to make it not slippery, they had to pour so much Coke to make it work. But because the film's been delayed and pushed back, and they've had to go back and reshoot these things a couple times. So this guy has had to like walk around with Coke bottles completely covering every cobblestone like 3 fucking times at this point.
That street would be so sticky.
Yeah. So yeah, he's I don't know how much. I think there's a price here somewhere. He spent 60,000 euros on Coca-Cola.
What's that in a real currency?
In real currency? Euro's more than Australian. I'll just check real quick. $100,152.60.
That's quite a lot.
That's a lot of money on Coke.
To be fair.
Yeah. So, that was funny. And speaking of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, they're doing another reboot, and we got a poster for it. A first look at the new Leatherface. And it's...
Probably nowhere near as good as the original Leatherface, because the original Leatherface looks fucking awesome.
Yeah. It's not really much. It's like a face that you can barely see on black. I could send you the link to the article really quickly though, because my mouse pad is completely screwed up. But it's not really much, I suppose. And because of that, there's nothing really to... Oh, you can see the image even. Just what I've sent you. That's pretty much it. That's all it is. Thankfully, I've been blessed with not seeing any of the sequels, really. I've seen a bit of the second one, but that's about it. So I've got to...
The second one's not the worst.
No, it's not. I know there's like 8 of them, but the only one I'm familiar with and seen a bunch is the first one. So I've got to really enjoy and savor that. Fuck yeah, there's only one and it's really, really good, before eventually going to be delving into the rest of them. But yeah, because Tobe Hooper also did the sequel, I checked that out a little bit and then ended up having to do something else. But yes, in 1974, the world witnessed one of the most bizarre crimes in the annals of American history. In 2021, the face of madness returns. Man, he's getting old.
Yeah, is it supposed to be like a direct sequel to the original?
I don't know. I think it's another reboot. Yeah, it says Texas Chainsaw Massacre reboot poster. Look at the new Leatherface. So yeah, we got that. I don't really
Halloween, I think last year, well, maybe even the year before that. But they did a movie that was supposed to be like a direct sequel to the original, but like 40 or so years later.
Yeah, they're all over the place. There's fucking about 8 or 9 of them. A couple reboots, but
Wait, no, Halloween is fucked.
yeah,
So
yeah, Halloween's done in. In other
Alright.
news, Jurassic World Dominion. Because I couldn't think of a better fucking title.
I have only seen the first Jurassic World film, and I didn't think it was that great. It was perhaps, maybe, if we're stretching, it was a little bit better than the third movie, but maybe not by much.
Yeah, well, I watched World and thought that was fun. Like, I really put my critical hat off and just watched it as a dumb action flick, and I had quite a bit of fun with it. The second one goes nuts with political correctness and feminism, and it's hot garbage, proper bad.
Are there any velociraptors that say the protagonist's name?
No, not as good as the third film.
Yeah.
What happens?
That's really my only criteria for a Jurassic Park movie being good.
I'll tell you the problem that people
happens.
had with the film. So spoilers for the Lost Kingdom or the Fallen Kingdom, the second one. And
The second one, I think I know what you're about to say.
So,
because I've heard about it.
So
I've heard about it a bit.
They clone people.
Yeah.
And there's a little girl who's a clone. She finds out she's a clone. And there's a big button to release all the dinosaurs into the wild. And she goes, bink, and presses the button. Why? Why would you do that? Oh,
Why
I
would you
had
have
to.
that button, to be honest?
I don't know. But they ask her, why would you do that? I had to. Because they're like me. Well, prisoners are also people like me, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna let them all out into the open.
Having a button like that is so funny to me, because it's the same thing in Cabin in the Woods. You've seen Cabin in the Woods, right? Yeah. Please tell me. Yeah, there's that. Oh yeah, spoilers for Cabin in the Woods, which is fucking like one of the greatest horror movies ever made.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's just a button to release all of the monsters.
Yeah.
Why is there a button? And it's not even that hard to press.
But anyway, what my point was, the third one of the sequel trilogy or whatever, it's paused production after more positive coronavirus tests. So we're still getting hit with them. Rob Battenbat, he tested positive. I don't know if I mentioned that last time.
So no, I don't think you mentioned that. So I guess that means that that movie's gonna be delayed then.
They're all being pushed to like 2022. Everything's kind of on hold, which sucks for us in the movie business.
At least Cyberpunk 2077 hasn't been delayed again.
That's right. Thank God it's coming. It's gone gold. Now, let's visit our good old friend.
It was supposed to come out like 2 days after my birthday this year, but it got delayed twice.
Oh fuck. Let's catch up with our good old friend, our good old pal, Nicky Cage. What's Nicky doing? So there's like
the funny movie of the week is another fucking Nicolas Cage.
It's not this time. This is possibly the best funny movie of the week we've ever had.
Alright, I'm looking forward to it then.
Yeah, no, we're getting there.
Do we have more movie news? Or
yes, we do.
Okay.
So, we're looking at Nicky Cage. He's got about 6 movies on the go at the moment, but the one I'm really eyeballing and excited about is one called Willy's Wonderland. Alright? So, let me just pitch it to you.
First I'm hearing of it.
A quiet drifter takes the night shift janitorial position at a once successful amusement park, only to fend for his life when the animatronics come to life and threaten to kill him. In Willy's Wonderland, a new horror film starring Nicolas Cage, once titled Wally's Wonderland, this upcoming title follows a string of recent horror films from the famous actor, notably including 2018's Mandy. Yeah, so it's a lot of Nick Cage fighting evil animatronics.
That sounds like a cross between Night at the Museum and Five Nights at Freddy's.
It is, really. And I don't know if you've got Twitter on you. You go to my Twitter.
yeah,
The first thing on my Twitter that I like retweeted was like the first day of production on the film. This is a long time.
What is your Twitter account? Because I don't think I'd be following you.
It's just my
It's
name.
just Nitrous Best, right? Or
Nah, it's just my name. Yeah, it's all the way back in October 30th, 2019. They shared a screenshot, and it is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Let me know when you see it, dude. It's fucked up. It's just before the first podcast went up.
Oh, yeah, okay, so a little while back.
It was a while back. I've been looking forward to it for a long time, and apparently it's just about finished shooting. Look at this madman.
Just give me a second. You have a lot of posts. Oh, yeah.
So
I've seen that.
Nick Cage will battle animatronic monsters in an amusement park, and he is covered in blood head to toe. I cannot wait.
I've seen this picture before.
Yeah. There's apparently also an untitled Joe Exotic project that Nick Cage is working on. I have no idea what it's about. I mean, like, the title is not even... just a project in pre-production. I have no idea what that'll be, but I'm looking forward to that as well. God, I love Nicky. But I'm looking forward to Willy's Wonderland, which will be coming soon. Now, this is really, really, really funny. So, I don't know if I mentioned this, but the script for Grown Ups 3. Did they talk about this already?
No, I don't believe I know anything or even care about grown-ups.
Oh, you will, dude. So,
alright.
Do you remember when Adam Sandler told Hollywood that if he doesn't win an Oscar for Best Actor in Uncut Gems, he will make a bad movie on purpose?
This is him making a bad movie on purpose this time?
Well, the script
Apparently
leaked.
Uncut Gems was like really good. Is that
Yeah,
the one?
I've heard it's really, really good. And apparently this movie starts out like a typical grown-ups film. So yeah, it's got the screenplay is available in all of its glory. If you have an hour, definitely give it a read. It's not for people who laugh with grown-ups, it's for people who laugh at grown-ups. The script begins like any other grown-ups movie, filled with cheap shot jokes and painfully unrealistic dialogue. But 5 pages in and bam, the story goes full-blown meta into like a slasher film.
That sounds awesome.
Besides being wildly entertaining, the script can also be viewed as a commentary on cheap mass market comedies churned out on the regular. So,
like, Adam Sandler could actually do, like, not that bad if he tries.
Oh, fuck, man. I want to... Can you imagine the Grown Ups trilogy? 1 and 2 are, like serious in their own world. And then it goes meta and they're self-aware of everything that's happening. And it's like a horror film and they're killing one another. Kevin James is trying to go after Santa or something. I don't know. But I am beyond excited. But apparently the script leaked and it blew up on Twitter, everyone. I hope we get something for it. I really hope we get Adam Sandler deliberately trying to make a really bad movie, because it's gonna be a hit. It's gonna be a massive hit, because we don't get this stuff. I don't know how he's gonna feel about all of a sudden the third one grossing more money than the first two when he's trying to make it bad.
You know, that sounds great. That sounds like it has the potential to be really funny.
It does. In other news, The Mandalorian is coming out in 2 more weeks' time, season 2, and apparently...
Did that come out months ago?
No, not season 2. It's coming like 2 weeks, a little less than 2 weeks. But John Favreau...
I've heard mixed things on Mandalorian. I've heard from some people it was great. I've heard
it's
from others.
fucking awesome. It's absolutely brilliant. I really, really like it. There's a couple episodes that are a bit... But otherwise, it's absolutely brilliant. The third episode in season 1 is the best, but and season 2 is coming around the corner. But we've gotten news that Jon Favreau, the man behind him, or Happy from MCU, he said that season 3 could shoot this year. So they're already that confident in season 3 getting on its way. But we haven't even got 2 yet.
There's not that much left of this year.
No, there isn't. But it's been real easy because everything is a set. Basically, the backgrounds, everything, it's a massive, giant 3D TV, like, wall. And wherever the camera looks, the wall behind changes to whatever the background is supposed to be. It's very, very cool. On Disney Plus, you can see the screen itself and the making of all of it. It's very, very well done, and because of it, that it's all in a studio and a lot of characters are wearing helmets and stuff, they don't have to have actors there. They're able to do a lot of it very cheaply, very easily. They don't have to go anywhere because nothing's real sets. So I can see it getting underway, but I'm very much looking forward to season 2. It's got Gus from Breaking Bad. I can't remember the actor's name because I always can't remember.
Giancarlo Esposito.
That's it. He's the main villain of the Mandalorian. It's fucking good, man.
He works quite well as a villain in Breaking Bad.
He's just the best villain. He's the villain in The Boys now as well. He's just calm, collected.
Pretty sure he's the villain of the next Far Cry game coming out too.
He is too. Hey, he is a bad guy because he's business and quiet and scary like that. I hope you're getting ready to buckle up because John Wick is getting his own roller coaster. Yeah, in Dubai, they're basically, where is it? Depending on which queue the rider gets in, you'll either be able to help John Wick avoid being hunted down by assassins, or you can become one of those assassins doing the hunting.
That sounds dangerous.
Little details been given about the ride experience itself. However, the roller coaster it's going to be indoors and is being built inside a 10-story tall replica of the Continental Hotel.
That sounds fucking awesome.
It is pretty fucking cool.
Shame it's in Dubai though.
Yeah, I mean Dubai's the place of money and shit. But
yeah.
Speaking of good old Keanu, The Matrix 4 is currently filming in Berlin and stuff. I'm very much looking forward to seeing what's going to happen. I'm pretty sure the Wachowskis are signed on for it. But yeah, Keanu's currently hanging out over there with his lady. And I can't wait to see him in Cyberpunk.
Oh yeah, it's going to be fucking great. I can't wait to see Cyberpunk full stop.
Yeah.
Have I mentioned how excited I am for Cyberpunk?
Yes, you have.
I don't think I brought it up.
Did the idea of a fourth Matrix film excite you at all? To see anything else that they could do with this franchise, or are you done with it after 3?
It's not like I'm not that invested in the Matrix trilogy.
I'm not either, but I am quite interested to see what else they can do with it, especially with a lot of the stuff. It's known for pushing the limits on the technology and reinventing things. So hopefully we could see some more stuff like that. But dare to dream. Now you're really gonna love this one because I always try and save best to last. So Matthew McConaughey, he's revealed in his novel about his own life that he's written that his dad died during sex, and he shares the full story.
Why does he know the full story?
So this is a quote from the book. This is his words. He said, "I got a call from my mom. Your dad died."
Is this going to get the fucking video taken down?
Nah, it's all cool.
Okay.
It's all good. If it does, I don't care. I got the call from my mom. Your dad died. My knees buckled. I couldn't believe it. He was my dad. Nobody or nothing could kill him except Mom. He always told me and my brothers, "Boys, when I go, I'm gonna be making love to your mother. And that's what happened. He had a heart attack when he climaxed. But apparently, he very much takes his family seriously. Like, this wasn't supposed to be funny.
Yeah, that sounds like he's taking it quite seriously. Nothing could kill my dad, except Mom.
Yeah. And, it's now out in the public eye. Man, I gotta respect the fucking honesty to let everyone in the world know that stuff.
Yeah.
Alright. So The Boys. You haven't seen The Boys still?
I have not gotten around to watching it yet. So
it is brilliant.
Spoilers
Season
to
2.
an appropriate minimum.
I will. Season 2 just wrapped up. The first one, all the way through, it's very consistent. It's very consistently good. Season 2 was a slow burn. It all of a sudden started out with these themes and different ideas that were like, where is this going? And builds up, and overall, again, it was very satisfying, very good. The best superhero TV show we have at the moment. And
What others really are there?
go to
actually, there are
CW
quite a
stuff.
Yeah,
Go to
there are
CW stuff. The MCU is trying some stuff soon, which will be interesting to see.
What are they doing?
She-Hulk, Moon Knight, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, WandaVision. All these shows are coming to Disney Plus. They're like 8-episode things. But The Boys is, I mean, like DC and Marvel fans shake hands and go, yes, this is the best one we've got. And it's absolutely brilliant. Again, I can't talk too much about it. You haven't seen it. It's alright. But definitely invest your time in it. It's fucking awesome.
I have been meaning to, because like I'm just gonna like buy a month of Amazon Prime and binge it when I can.
Fuck yeah. No, awesome. So, the biggest news, and especially in my world, has been everything that has been coming about with Spider-Man 3. Or the new Tom Holland Spider-Man film. I personally, after Far From Home, couldn't give a shit. Because everything's always whipped away and there's no consequences for anything. But it was when all the rumours were blowing up everywhere that it would feature Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield that made everyone go, what? And there's been so much news on whether these two have been coming back and trying to do a live action Spider-Verse. Jamie Foxx's Electro is recast. He is the villain for the next Spider-Man film.
I saw on your Twitter somebody said, I bet it was Tony Stark's electrician or something.
Yeah. But apparently he's coming back and he's playing the character, but he's not playing the Amazing Spider-Man 2 one. He's going to be not blue this time, going to be probably in green and yellow. More comic booky, that's what they like to do.
I hope he's in just the original Electro costume.
Oh yeah, that would be sweet. So
the fucking lightning bolts.
But yeah, apparently they're playing with the idea of a Spider-Verse, and they might be bleeding these other two Spideys over, and also because this is going to be right after Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness and stuff. But there'll be a lot of these two coming together, and all the setup of the Sinister Six in the Andrew Garfield universe is going to clash with the villains we already have in the MCU and actually make up the Six, and that these three Spideys will take them all down. Sam Raimi is on to direct Doctor Strange 2, and there's a lot of rumors that Sam's been just playing the long game on this, because like, what about Doctor Strange? It's good, but it's taken. You know, might have him actually show up in the Raimi universe and have Raimi Spider-Man land and be like, I'm the sheriff around these parts. Who the fuck are you? There's been just a lot of that stuff flying around everywhere. But they haven't confirmed nothing other than Doctor Strange will be in the next Spider-Man movie, which makes me fear that none of this stuff is happening, except Doctor Strange is coming in and this is exactly what I thought would happen, that he'll come in and he's just going to make it, basically wipe away the fact that everyone knows that he's Spider-Man so that there's no consequences for that stinger.
Didn't he do that in the comics?
Yes, that's exactly what happened. Now all of a sudden, Doctor Strange confirmed to be in Spider-Man 3, and it's like, well, it's exactly what the fuck I thought would happen. Perfect world, what I'd like to happen, I mean, Spider-Verse would be cool, but I would like it that, you know, Pete's fucked. Everyone in the world knows. You can't just, you know, live with these consequences for a second and have an identity crisis thing arguing whether he really is Spider-Man or he's framed for it. And then all of a sudden, while he's, you know, in courts and trying to deal with all this stuff, bam, his lawyer comes in. Who's there to fucking, like, rep him? Daredevil. And have a Spider-Man and Daredevil film and bridge the Netflix world right through to the MCU. Because I do not want another Daredevil. We're not going to get it because Netflix...
I mean, the first Daredevil film, there's just no way to top it. There's no reason to try.
Oh, no, it's fucking, no, stop. You're bad. Don't confuse people. But the idea of seeing Tobey Maguire suit up one more time, I don't know how I feel about it. I don't know. I really want to see it, but at the same time, I don't want this to fuck up.
You rewatched the trilogy with Wilson.
I did. Everything's fresh in mind. Even the Amazing Spider-Man films and Into the Spider-Verse. I didn't watch the Far From Home ones. The Home trilogy. Everything fucking... Next one will be, Spider-Man Homesick. And I swear that...
Wait, is that actually what it's gonna call?
No, but it's likely to be fucking that. But yeah, Spider-Man 3 cast Benedict Cumberbatch in mentor role as Doctor Strange because Tony's dead now.
Obviously, because this fucking Spider-Man needs one.
Oh, he does need a fucking mentor. It's like, Jesus
Wasn't
Christ.
the fucking, like... The point of Homecoming was allegedly that he didn't need one.
Yeah, he didn't need the suit, he didn't need all that. But then
Like,
it's
because
right.
he could, you know, with his own strength, when he, you know, pulls up his bootstraps, he's, you know, he's Spider-Man, he can handle it.
Yeah, you know, finally he doesn't have a Karen to talk
Infinity
to.
War, in Endgame,
You know?
fucking Far From Home.
My problem with Far From Home is it doesn't know what it wants to be. Does it want to be, you know, this kid's just seen a fucking war, you know what I mean? He's just watched Tony die.
He should be fucking traumatized.
That's what I'm saying.
Because of what he went through.
Do you do a movie on mourning Tony Stark and dealing with that grief and stuff, which the film tries to do? Or does it want to tell Peter's going on a holiday to Europe story and he's trying to fall in love? Those two stories don't work with one another, and it tries to do both. Yeah. And then, as soon as it's like,
I
you know,
always find it funny when I see movies and stuff, and it's like, if that happened to somebody in real life, they'd never fucking recover from it psychologically.
Yeah, it's just
like,
doesn't work. There's so many clashing tones. Even with Happy's like, hey, you know, you can't be Iron Man. You got to be yourself. Iron Man made mistakes, and then he'll play AC/DC and he'll start to build his suit just like Iron Man, and it just contradicts itself everywhere. It's just, those films are good movies, but they're not good Spider-Man movies. They miss the point entirely. Ant-Man is much more of an everyman in the MCU than Spidey is. He's divorced. He's like an ex-criminal. He's fucking, you know,
I love it. I've only seen Ant-Man 1, but Ant-Man 1 is great.
Yeah. See, 2 was alright as, you know, a one watch. Otherwise, you know, it's not... I probably prefer the first one a little more. You
know, when that lady showed up in fucking Endgame, I was like, who the hell is that?
Yeah.
I'd never seen,
Yeah.
fucking Ant-Man and the Wasp.
So, with this whole Spider-Verse news, if we to somehow get Andrew and Toby back, is that something you'd be interested in seeing? Would that put you in the cinema?
I don't know. Maybe.
You know, because I'm excited to see Toby, but only if Sam's doing it.
Yeah, if Sam's not directing it, then I'm not really that keen on it.
Yeah, because with Spider-Man 3, if, you know, Sam's not doing it, obviously, and they have Toby show up, I'm worried as fuck that they're going to butcher this character. But
yeah,
I would ideally like to see him appear in Doctor Strange 2. Or Doctor Strange's hopping universes, all of a sudden he's thrown into that one for like 5 minutes and that's it. You know, not an overabundance and don't let it overtake as like here's a Spider-Man movie again. It's a strange film.
Yeah. And
But
Doctor Strange 1 was pretty good.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed it. A lot of people are very in between on it. I think it's one of the good ones compared to a lot of the other MCU films. You know, I'd much rather watch Doctor Strange than Ant-Man or heaps of them. Just visually, it's so different.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd be excited.
Like Thor Ragnarok and Doctor Strange are probably the only two that I actually like.
Yeah, I'd be excited to even see Mark Webb's, like Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man come back as well. They talked about trying to do something a bit more like DC as well, and having more of those solo films follow on, like as standalones. So Spider-Man 4 in the air again.
Andrew Garfield got a really bad rap as Spider-Man. What are your thoughts on
He was good. The Amazing Spider-Man, at least the first one, or even the second one, it's a group of really talented and amazing people that are getting strung up like puppets by Sony so hard that there is glimmers of greatness in both those films that it's just clouded by shit, and because of that shit they just get typecast as that because you either love it or you hate it.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of, his relationship with Gwen is probably the best that those movies have got. But there's even a scene in the second film, in The Amazing Spider-Man 2, where he stops this kid from getting bullied or whatever, and just walks home with him down an alleyway. That's perfect Spider-Man. He's just a street level hero, But the costumes, I liked both of them. The second one was probably the best on-screen suit we've had. But I've got a soft spot for the first one, even if the mask looks like a basketball. I just think Andrew, he was funnier as well.
Yeah.
Cracked much more jokes than Toby did, and that's alright. But
I think
it made sense.
I remember the Raimi trilogy being a lot more funny though, because
for me, because a lot of people's complaint was that
but you did recently. It's been a very long time since I saw either of the Amazing Spider-Man films. Actually, I think the only time I've seen the first one was when we watched it at cinema. Yeah,
really. Yeah, I love the first one much more than the second. I hold it quite dear. Obviously it's it's trying to do a reboot. The villain's very two-dimensional. It's got all the origin story tropes, but there's just glimmers of just something special amongst it.
Find it funny how in this podcast where we've been talking about American Psycho and Spider-Man, you haven't mentioned your posters once.
Well, I can. I'm picking them up Friday. Both my American Psycho.
You'll have to send me a picture of them once they're all framed and shit.
I will. I can't wait.
Probably gonna look awesome.
Yeah, I can't wait to see them. Hopefully they look really, really nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know how I feel about all this Spider-Verse news and stuff. We are getting a second Into the Spider-Verse, which would be cool. I'm excited to see that.
Oh yeah, Into the Spider-Verse was pretty good. Is Nick Cage reprising his role as Noir Spider-Man?
I would think so. I think it's basically doing the same thing, but it's just going to be even more. Because we got Spider-Man 2099 in the post-credits. So
yeah,
it'll just be expanding upon everything. But
the
originally
Noir suit in Spider-Man PS4 looks so shit.
The what?
The Noir suit in Spider-Man PS4.
It's alright. I
wish I had the trench coat.
The trench coat and the fedora, but at the same time, getting the trench coat to have its own physics, like if you're doing backflips and shit, it just doesn't work.
Yeah, that would look awesome.
It would, but you'd have the thing over your head all the time and not be able to see shit. It'd be glitching out. That's like trying to develop Batman's cape in the Arkham games for just one suit alone.
One suit, yeah. Are there any other suits that have anything like that?
You've got
a
couple of them have hoodies, but they're not moving around a lot.
The dangling things.
Yeah.
I always notice those in cutscenes. I think it's like the Scarlet Spider. I think that suit's called.
Yeah. Some of them are beautiful.
All of the suits in that game are really well designed, except for the fucking negative suit. That one makes my eyes bleed.
Well, I've got a whole video I've planned on making on those suits alone.
You planned on making that ages ago.
Yeah,
I assume that.
I've been working on it. I was working on it not long ago because in the remaster that's coming out, we're finally gonna have a definitive amount of costumes. So, do it when they're all there. Anyway, we'll get off the topic of Spider-Man. We'll talk about him another time.
Yeah, this isn't a Spider-Man content.
We are now at the funny movie of the week.
I've been waiting for this. What is it?
I think you would have heard of it before. Maybe.
Is it Sing'em again?
No.
It's Birdemic. This fucking movie. I haven't just heard of it, I've seen it.
Oh, really?
This movie's great, yeah.
Oh, yes. Alright. Well, a lot of people, I bet they fucking haven't seen it. And I cannot get through this trailer without smiling.
I guaranteed most people will have at least heard of it.
Oh, I don't know. We'll see. Anyway.
Very well known.
Whenever you've got the trailer up and you're ready to go, man.
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm always ready for Birdemic.
Alright, man, let's go. 3, 2, 1, go.
Don't know if I've actually seen the trailer though.
Payday with a big stock option, huh?
Yeah, I earned it. All those big deals I did with NCT. And millions of dollars of revenues and sales.
Well, you've done a great job, Rod.
Meet Rod.
Hi.
A young software salesman on his way to achieving
I had no idea the trailer was like this.
Thinking about opening up a green tech company.
Oh yeah.
Meet Natalie, a beautiful young fashion model, driven by passion.
I remember you now. You were my English class.
I was.
Yeah.
So how come you never made it past?
I remember you. You were in my English class.
And anything is possible.
I was wondering if we can keep in contact.
Wow.
Sure.
A new beginning. It's like a romantic film.
How big was the sale?
$1 million.
Oh, high five.
Today, the population of polar bears is declining rapidly.
Hi, my name is Jerry.
You know, the movie's a lot more about environmental conscientiality than you'd expect.
Downtown San Jose and along Highway
New breed of
101.
terror, man.
Hey, I thought I told you to
Visionary
stand
director.
back. These birds are contaminated.
The crows and seagulls also caused an accident on Highway
Do you see the
101.
amazing bird
Authorities are investigating the
graphics?
cause of their
Oh yeah, man.
Let's get out of here.
Oh.
I think they're eagles.
That fucking noise. That's playing for like the entire fucking Birdemic.
They've got us like a metal song made for it.
I'm not worried about these black birds. They're not the dangerous animal. It's the human species that's the dangerous, menacing, and terrifying animal.
Birdemic, shock and terror.
Birdemic.
I've never heard this song before.
Oh yeah.
Why would birds do something like that? I mean, why would they just attack?
I don't know.
Brilliant, man. Brilliant. Alright.
Yeah, that movie's awesome.
Yeah.
Love Birdemic.
Alright, man. Well, let's end on a high note, huh?
Yeah.
Birdemic. Well,
That seems like it's
I'll have to watch it one day because I haven't seen it. But I know of it, and I'm sure it's a laugh riot. Africa. But thanks again, everybody, for sticking with it through to the end. If you've made it all this way, just comment peanut butter so I know. And yeah, we'll talk about how cool peanut butter is, and we'll confuse the fuck out of everyone who has no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's start a conversation on peanut butter.
I have a lot of things to say on peanut butter, so maybe we'll make the next podcast about that instead. of
Yeah, man.
Texas Chainsaw.
And we'll just see, they're both horrors, you know?
Yeah.
Alright. That'll do it. Alright. Bye, everyone.
Alright, but yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to talking about Texas Chainsaw. I've got a lot to say on that.
Yeah, me too. It'll be a lot of fun.